Tisha back with Tisha Talks live at 4:45. And thanks so much for your patience last week. Last week I had a little bit of a snafu in my schedule. My son, Caleb, was actually being inducted into the National Junior Honor Society. Like, this is a proud mama moment. And so had to take Wednesday off. As I said, my priorities kind of go haywire a little bit when the kids get involved. And so couldn't get here for Tisha Talks live, but for good reason. So I am back. I just got back from Vegas. If you follow me on some different social media platforms, you probably know that 17 years of being married to Sean happened on last Thursday on May 13th. So we hit Vegas, and Vegas, we went for our no adulting weekend. And let me just tell you, if you're tuning in and you have not been on a no adulting weekend, especially if you have kids, you're missing out. You've got to get on a no adulting weekend. No responsibilities, no kids, no what are we doing for dinner? It's just mind blown. Like, you could just do whatever you want, right? All right, so today I want to talk to you about this topic that you won't be everyone's cup of tea. Hey, Nat Handler, good to have you in the house. Nat and I actually just jumped off a phone call just like 5 minutes ago. So Nat, how do I look? Am I all prettied up for Tisha Talks Live? You don't have to answer that. I'm just kidding. I just threw some lip gloss on. All right, so we're talking about you won't be everyone's cup of tea and what to do about it. Now, I want to share a quick story that happened while we were in Vegas that really demonstrates the point of why you won't be everyone's cup of tea. And then I'm going to offer you up some practical tips because I have been there. I don't know about you guys, but I've definitely been one of those girls that was like, I want everybody and their mama to like me. There's something wrong if people don't like me. Like, what am I doing wrong? And I'm going to be the first to tell you, it's not you. It is not you. So don't even go there. But I want to share this story with you real quick. And if you were tuning in, on LinkedIn or on Facebook or on YouTube, definitely leave me a comment or get into this conversation because I'd love to hear from you. And I'm also checking on my phone as well to see who LinkedIn user is. That might be Bruce, but okay, here we go. All right, so here's the story. So all the shows in Vegas are closed until June, but we were able to go watch a show at the Rio. And if you've ever been to the Rio, they have something called the Comedy Cellar. Hey, Corey, good to see you from Birmingham, Alabama. Good to see you here. Hey, Conrad. Conrad's in the house. Awesome, Conrad. Hey, Conrad, I really loved your birdie video that you put up there. I love that you're stepping out of your comfort zone. All right, so I was sharing with you that hubby and I, Sean, we went to Comedy Cellar at the Rio on Saturday night. We had tickets, and we saw four different comedians, all in this 1.5 hour show. And at the end of the show, and the comedians were all very good. I really enjoyed every single one of them. Every single one of them brought something to the table. Very, very funny people. And at the end, I asked my husband, I said, which comedian did you like best? Which would you like to have seen more of? Because they only had about 20, 25 minutes on the stage. Probably even not, because I just told you it was 1.5 hours and my math is horrendous. Conrad knows. But anyway, I digress. So I asked him, which of these comedians would you like to see more of? And hands down, I already knew which one he wanted to watch more of because it was the same guy that I wanted to watch more of. And it was the comedian that some of you guys are on here. You'll appreciate this. He was a troublemaker when he was growing up. He talked about playing hide and seek in a graveyard when he was growing up and actually getting buried in a ditch, like super, super funny stuff. He talked about how he has kids about our same age of our son plays soccer, Caleb, how he talked about there should be no participation trophies that, he talked about the Karen or the Meredith in his life that brings the healthy snacks to the games and how, people were kind of shunning him because he brought like cupcakes with the swirly on top, the chocolate cupcakes with the swirly white frosting and Gatorades for the kids, and how he was like the hero parent for the kids, but all the parents were kind of shunning him because he didn't bring healthy snacks. Like, oh, excuse me. He was talking about these things. Guys, live, I'm choking. 1 second. Water. This is live. Okay, I'm back. I think my throat's going to come back. Okay, so he was talking about how he was practically bringing in his life into his comedian skit, right? And he was talking about his kids and this lady Meredith and how he was just very animated. And I knew that my husband really gravitated toward him. Why? And I said, what about the other people? He's like, they were okay. But this guy, I really, really like him. I'd really like to follow him and watch his show on Netflix or whatever it is. And that's what I wanted to talk about today is you won't be everyone's cup of tea. And why is that? And this is what I talk about all the time. You guys know, because I talk a lot about personal branding. Your personal brand is your professional and your personal, and they're intertwined together. They cannot be separate because you are trying to find the common thread that you have with people. For this comedian and for Sean, there was a lot of common threads woven in there. He's a parent, he's got a boy and a girl, he was a troublemaker as a kid, he was up to no good playing hide and seek in the graveyard. Like, those were things that my husband could get behind because he was probably that same kind of kid. And he's that same kind of father. He doesn't believe in participation trophies. He believes that kids should really work for it, all of that stuff. So that's what I want to share with you, that you really need to find that common thread, and people will start to like you more and more and more because of those personal aspects you're bringing in. I work with a lot of people and all I want to talk about is business, 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 business. And I want to tell you that that's not going to fly because people, they love that you're business, but they also want to know, who are you? What do we have in common? What's that thread that kind of binds us together? Do you have some of these similar experiences that I have? And if you're not talking about your experiences, or if you're not talking about the things that you like or what floats your boat or what lights you up, then you really don't have much to go off of. All right. So I'm going to check some of these comments here because it seems like we have a couple from Nat. So Nat says, when you're aware of your strengths and weaknesses, you're able to accept yourself for who you are, and it won't matter what others think. Absolutely. All right, Nat, same thing. And Nat, when you're completely and genuinely you, the right kinds of people want to be your friend, colleague, business partner, etc. Bang. Okay, so Nat just hit it on the head, all right? This is huge. What you just put up there about when you're completely and genuinely you, the right kinds of people want to be your friend, colleague, business partner, etc. I just watched a video yesterday. Conrad, I'm going to pick on you a little bit, Mr. Conrad Nelson, who's in the house. Conrad just started doing videos, and his videos are super funny. He was talking about these birdies that, are living in his, in his roof, and he did it so much fun. It was such a fun way he did it. He did it with accents and all sorts of fun things. And that honestly got me excited. I was like, Conrad's my kind of peeps. Like, I love people that can, spin humor and just be themselves. And that's what's really going to get you noticed. Yeah, be yourself at all times. Corey Northington saying the same thing. Be yourself at all times. The guy in Vegas, he wasn't everyone's cup of tea. That's what I want to share. We had a full audience. There were probably about 60 or so people. There were people talking about inappropriate things on that stage. There was a woman that, God, I was like, your mom needs to wash your mouth out, lady. She wasn't my cup of tea either. I liked her. But if I had to pick out of those people, I would pick the same person as Sean because we had a lot in common. We're parents, first of all. We have a lot of common thread. Now, the whole thing of, well, what do you do about this? Like, so you guys are on social media and you've got trolls, you've got people that are like bashing you. And, maybe they're talking about your accent or your weight or the way you look and all this stuff. And here's what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you to not even give a flying F about it, okay? Because again, what did we establish? There's 7 billion plus people on this planet. Not every single person is going to like you or jive with you, and that is absolutely okay. When you step out, just like Nat's talking about, of being yourself and doing you and being you and not caring what everybody thinks, but attracting the right types of people in your corner, then that's when it starts to get fun. That's when you start to develop the tribe of people that become your friends, they become your clients, they become your collaborators, they become your business partners. Those are the people that you want to surround yourself. So I am not this person that's like, I need to have everybody and their mama like me. I'm this person that's like, I want to have the right types of people in my corner, the right types of people in my tribe, that it's reciprocal. I love what they're doing. They love what I'm doing. And we're supporting each other through and through and through. So again, that point of not everybody's going to like you, and that's okay. You don't want everyone to like you. You want the right people to like you. You want the right people in your corner, because that's how your business is going to grow. That's how your friendships are going to grow, and they're going to become that much more meaningful. I said this before on one of the live streams that I really have about like 5 people in my sphere that I really go to all the time. And I know people are like, you know, so many people, you must have like all these best friends. I have 2 or 3 best friends. That's it. Like, I don't confide in a lot of people. If I'm close to you, then I have that relationship. Like, Nat's a really good friend of mine that always pops in. But that's what I'm saying is you don't need everybody to be your best friend. You don't need everybody to be your friend. You need the right types of people in your corner. So I'm very big, as you guys know, into quality, not quantity. It doesn't matter about all the numbers and vanity metrics and all that stuff as long as you have the right people in your corner. Hey, I'm guessing that was you, Bruce. LinkedIn user. That's what I saw. Conrad Nelson. Not Karen. What? I love it. I had no pun intended. Not Karen when anybody else thinks. I like that he named his Karen Meredith. I guess Meredith is a real person in his life. So that made me chuckle a little bit because I think we all have those people. They're not all named Karen. So Meredith was his Karen. Nice. All right. I'm going to look at this. Yes. Okay. Nat Handler, great. I love this comment. Forget about the people who do not like you and just be yourself. Spend your time and energy with those who respect and appreciate you. And don't waste your time repeatedly trying to win over those who don't. Oh my gosh. Okay, Nat, I think you just need to come up here and teach this Tisha Talks Live, because what you just said right there about you wasting your time trying to get this person over here to like you when all of these other people really love you, why? Why would you put forth that energy and that effort if they don't reciprocate and they're not jumping on the Tisha wagon and, you know, we're like, you know, becoming friends and colleagues and we're working together? Why does that matter? I'm going to say this to you. All right. I'm going to tell you this. So social media, fun stuff. You guys all know that. There are people that have been following me for I don't know how long. They've been like consuming my content, never approaching me, never commenting, never liking, never any of that stuff until they're ready. And you got to be okay with that. Okay. If you see people that are liking your stuff, but they're not really engaging, you always have the ability to take the first step and strike up the conversation. Obviously, they like you for a reason. Obviously, they keep following you for a reason, but sometimes people are just shy. We've got to give them the benefit of the doubt. So if you can expedite that connection, that relationship, then absolutely. But I've had people that have liked stuff for months, for even years, that finally are starting to come into my corner and saying hello. It's always going to be at others time frame is what I'm trying to say. It's going to be on their time sometimes, not yours, and that has to be okay too. Some people just need a little bit of a nudge, right? So yeah, so people like you, maybe they're just not ready to introduce themselves to you or to really strike up that conversation, but you also have that power to do that. Some of my best connections on LinkedIn are people who have liked my stuff or maybe have commented or have checked out my profile, but never really started the engagement because they really didn't know how to. And I'll tell you, what's the best way to start up the engagement? Say hi, say hello. Conrad does a really great job of doing little video messages. That's a really great way to stand out in a crowd too, would be memorable. So that's the thing. Be yourself. Don't care what everybody thinks of you because you will not be everybody's cup of tea, and just have fun with it. When you're having fun, people notice and they want more of that too. They want more of that energy of, that energy that you're putting out there too. And that's what's going to get you noticed. All right. All right. So I can honestly say I don't care. I feel like for years before, the old Tisha back in her 30s was the person that wanted everybody to like her and tried hard to people please and all of that. And now I'm like, oh, hell no. Like, if you don't like me, that's okay, because there are plenty of other people that do, and I'm going to surround myself with those people. Yeah, what you think of me doesn't faze me anymore, and I want you guys to get to that point too. What you think of me doesn't matter because I like me and I can hang out with me just fine. All right, guys, it is 5 o'clock. You know what I'm making for dinner? I'm making chicken, so I got to pop that sucker back in the oven. Nat Handler. Dude, you're making me laugh. Your kids have been sending me their weekly allowance for years to follow you and be your friend. Now I'm gonna have a talk with my kids. If they've been like Venmoing you money to be my friend, that's not gonna fly. That's not gonna fly with me. Anyway, all right, guys, have a great rest of your night. I'll be back next week. I have a special guest, Emmeline Saavedra. We're gonna be talking about taking it to the bank. So you'll have to figure what that is when we get on Tisha Talks Live for next Wednesday. But I just want to say I appreciate all of you. I appreciate all of you for being on with me live or catching the replay. I love Tisha Talks Live because it's a way for me to just get up and be on the fly and choke on water and, and roll with the punches and just show that I can. And just talk about fun topics like this that come up in my everyday, like Comedy Cellar at the Rio in Vegas. All right, guys, have a great night, and I will catch you back next week on another Tisha Talks Live at 4:45. See you later. Bye.